Hi. Welcome back.
Gather ye rosebuds while ye may. The Latin term for that sentiment is carpe diem. Now, who knows what that means?
Because he's in a hurry.
No. Ding! Thanks for playing anyway. Because we are food for worms, lads. Because believe it or not, each and every one of us in this room is one day going to stop breathing, turn cold, and die.
Welcome, everybody, to a special episode of That's Our Opinion. Yesterday, we heard the news of Robin Williams taking his own life, and we were very saddened, and we felt it was important to remember him. So we're here to get together to do exactly that, and remember him for his...
He just brought a lot of joy and
brought
laughter to people.
an amazing amount of joy to the world, and we want to remember those wonderful scenes and those wonderful movies.
Yeah.
And share that with you so that you can remember him with us. I think a lot of us spent last night watching something that made us remember him. Robin Williams is definitely our generation actor. As hard as it was to lose actors, especially this year, we lost Harold Ramis and Philip Seymour Hoffman. And there have been other tragic deaths, young deaths. Heath Ledger was only 28. Paul Walker was only 40. Brittany Murphy was only 32. Tragic deaths of these young ages. And Robin Williams was certainly young. I mean, at 63 years old.
Yeah.
And, I mean, certainly not as young as Corey. No, this year we lost Drop Dead Fred.
Yeah.
That was really, really tragic for me. But
we lost good old Rick.
Robin felt really close to family.
Yeah.
We've known him all of our life. He has made us laugh since I was born. The year we were born was when he started doing stand up and started really making a name for himself.
Aye. 'Tis a bleak night. Look! The moon like a testicle hangs low in the sky.
He actually even did that. 1978, John Ritter was actually in the audience. And that's another great guy that we've lost. But
I've dragged this man up here to ruin his career so I can... Actually, we couldn't do this unless we were brothers. My gentle lord.
My son, come to me and kneel before me.
Nay, I shall not. I did that once before, and you taught me well.
Robin really, really hit close to home. For us, he lived in the Bay Area. He lived in Marin.
He is 100% Bay Area. So
a lot of his films have been in the Bay Area. Mrs. Doubtfire, Flubber, Jack, and What Dreams May Come were all filmed in the Bay Area. So I thought in honor of our back and forth, instead of doing Good, Bad, and the Ugly, I thought we'd just do our 3 favorite films. Mm-hmm. And talk about them and start with my absolute most favorite movie in the whole world that he ever did was What Dreams May Come. And it's a little bittersweet at this point because the story is of his wife committing suicide and him traveling to hell to bring her back. And now that Robin has gone that way, I think all of us fans want to dive into hell and pull him back out, so that he can have the heaven that he had in the original movie.
Maybe I'm not in your heaven after all, girl. Maybe you're in mine.
I love that movie.
I was one of the few people that liked it. I wouldn't say I loved it, but I did like it.
I really did love it. I had a strong connection, religious-wise. It was a great interpretation of heaven and hell, and it was a great performance from Robin to see that charismatic side, but also that love side that he had.
Yeah.
What was one of your favorite films by Robin?
One of my favorite films? Surprising? Well, my favorite goes all the way back to my childhood. And it was actually the very first Robin Williams film I'd ever seen, and Funny enough, it was his first on-screen, big-screen debut. He debuted as Popeye for Disney.
What am I? I am what I am! I'm Popeye the Sailor. I'm Popeye the Sailor. I'm Popeye the Sailor. I am what I am, and that's all that I am. I am what I am, what I am, what I am. I'm Popeye the Sailor Man.
I always keep forgetting Disney did that movie.
Did they do that?
Yeah.
he's
Well,
awesome.
I watched it last night, all night. I fell asleep. I put it on repeat, and I just kept playing it. So, went to sleep watching Popeye. Woke up watching Popeye. But yeah, I always connected with that movie. I watched Popeye the cartoon. I watched everything. But if anyone had come up to me and said, "Who was Popeye?" I never said, "Oh, he was a cartoon character." I said it was Robin Williams.
Awesome.
Because that's just how good he was in that.
So Popeye was his first film, but
First film.
he was really getting a name for himself with Mork and Mindy in '77. Mork actually first appeared on Happy Days. Although while he was really high on cocaine, he did a lot of stuff.
I remember my dad and my grandfather talked a lot about the Carson Show.
Johnny Carson.
And
Shakespeare stuff. You think about Shakespeare, you think about a man basically with the education, second grade education, wrote some of the greatest poetry of all times. I think maybe not. I don't know. Wandering around Stratford after a couple of beers, knocking on doors, going, is this to be or not to be? I wrote that. That's mine.
That's mine.
I'm William Shakespeare, right? Kiss my tights.
Yeah. Did you ever do any Shakespeare? You did Waiting for Godot?
I did Waiting for Godot.
Yeah.
I did Shakespeare. It's exciting to wear tights and have people go, I can't see anything.
He's no nerve, you have.
Someone give him a dagger. Thank you.
There's a dagger I see in my hand.
What is this I hold before me?
you had no idea
what was
coming
next?
it's like Robin Williams, and that's what was good about him. Robin Williams did not have a middle speed. It was 0 to 100.
It really was.
He
He actually said there, as I actually found out that cocaine used to slow him down, so I can't imagine. But it was the birth of his first son and made him finally take it serious and went into rehab and was sober for a long time.
20 years.
Being part of a family that struggles with addiction and depression, let me assure you, it wasn't easy, I'm sure.
Wow. I also think for me, too, one of the best things I've liked about him is he was one of the best, if you can put him in a category of his own, something that he did that no one else did, is he was the best ever as a stand-up comedian who became an actor.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
I like New York on a day like today. I mean, for a while, everything where people were like, "Are you okay?" And now people are back to being New Yorkers like, "Have a nice day, asshole." Fuck you, my friend. Enjoy your day. But the most beautiful thing about a day like today in this New York is that the ladies take the twins for a walk. Oh, yeah, the titties are out today. On a hot day, all the titties are out there, and they're the titties like God made them, going, huddy me me. Beautiful titties, all different shapes and sizing, and women running, and they're going, hubbada, hubbada, hubbada. And then they hit a breeze, and chicken's done.
I know some people were like, well, Richard Pryor's like, Richard Pryor was good.
But he was
But
only
he was a
his
comedian who became an actor who still played Richard Pryor. He
Absolutely.
never really became a character he was in. Same with Cosby, same with, Chris Tucker. I mean, anybody who was a stand-up comedian that went into acting
was still the comedian.
was still the comedian. He actually transformed. He started being a comedian, but he really did from the very beginning. He just became the actor.
Right.
He won Academy Awards for what he did, and the only person I can ever say that got closest to him now would be Jamie Foxx. But Jamie Foxx was never a stand-up comedian.
No,
he
wasn't
started
known.
off on a TV show and went into film, so you can kind of say he's the pioneer now of that, because no one's really ever done that and got Best Actor for what Fox has done.
Absolutely. Well, and he got awards for, he got a nod for Good Morning Vietnam, where he is kind of that comedic role.
Good morning, Vietnam! Hey, Hey, this is not a test. This is rock and roll. Time to rock it from the Delta to the DMZ. Is that me or does that sound like an Elvis Presley movie? Viva Da Nang. Oh, Viva Da Nang. Denying me. Why don't they get a rope and hang me? Hey, is it a little too early for being that loud? Hey, too late. It's 0600. What's the O stand for? Oh, my God, it's early.
He actually won the award for Good Will Hunting, where he is not anywhere near that comedian. Although, the one best scene in the movie of Good Will Hunting was completely improv.
Yeah.
And that's what Robin Williams is actually known for.
This girl's like fucking perfect right now. I don't want to ruin that.
Maybe you're perfect right now. Maybe you don't want to ruin that. But I think that's a super philosophy, Will. That way you can go through your entire life without ever having to really know anybody. My wife used to fart when she was nervous. She had all sorts of wonderful little idiosyncrasies. You know, she used to fart in her sleep. I'm sorry I shared that with you. One night it was so loud it woke the dog up. She woke up and got like, "Oh, was that you?" I said, "Yeah, I didn't have the heart to tell her." Oh, God.
She woke herself up.
Yes. Oh, Christ. But Will, she's been dead 2 years, and that's the shit I remember. It's wonderful stuff, you know? Little things like that.
Improv, and that's what he's known for. Most of Genie in Aladdin was improv as well.
Improv,
it was just
got
him
to do what he wanted to do.
Going off the cuff, completely lightning quick. Somebody put a quote. This is Robin never did the same joke twice. Robin and that's I think that was from The Crazy Ones, the television show that he just did. He says they never did the same take twice.
Which now, kind of with all this, it's like I still just was never a fan of The Crazy Ones.
And there's a reason it got canceled. There was a reason it didn't make it to season 2, which is unfortunate. But at least we have that now of him. And the best part about the show was him. Yeah, the show was not great, but he was wonderful.
It was not a. It just never hit with me.
But he made you laugh.
He made me laugh at some of the things he did, but he wasn't always that funny.
The character wasn't great.
I think the character could have been there could have been a little bit more to it. But yeah, even Mrs. Doubtfire was a lot of improv.
Oh, yeah.
That just him. They're like, we're just gonna put you in a fat suit, put some lady makeup on you, go to town.
Oh, I'm so happy.
You're like, Lord,
needed a job.
Do you have any special skills?
I do voices.
Yeah! Nancy and I are still looking for the other half of my head.
Look at me right now, Moneypenny. I want to undo that bow and get to know you.
Mr. Hillard, do you consider yourself humorous?
I used to.
The terrorists, they ran that way. It was a run by fruiting.
Surprise!
Mrs. Doubtfire was great. That was one of your other favorite
That
movies.
was one of my other favorites, was Mrs. Doubtfire. And that's just purely because I actually got a chance during the soccer scene when he's kicking the ball.
Oh, yeah.
And he's out playing with his son, who
Drive-by
does not
fruiting.
know he's his son, but...
Oh, yeah.
I actually was there that day they were filming it, so I actually got a chance to see him in full garb as Mrs. Doubtfire.
That's so cool.
I never got a chance to go up and meet him, but, you know, because there was just so many people, like, they had to keep off the camera, so you can't tell all these people are, oh, what's he doing? What's going on over there?
Yeah,
but I actually got to see that scene.
That's so cool.
So that is my
Robin
Williams kind of, I got to see him in real life, so...
That's one of the benefits of it being filmed in the Bay Area. I have friends who actually saw Jack. They were extras. They were kids from our high school that actually got to see Jack. And he actually sat with some of the students. And turns out he's a real person. He's just a normal, fun guy, and not one of those Christian Bale type people who are like, "Don't talk to me, I'm famous," you know.
Yeah. And I think that's one thing that a lot of people forget too. That these people, they're people. You know, it's some of people in Hollywood, they're there to make the money. They don't, you know, they want the money, they want the fame. They don't really care about the fans.
And then there's Robin, who's just a real person, and he would just talk to you, and he was human.
Yeah. And another guy I have to give nods to that, who's recently has passed away, was Michael Clark Duncan.
Was a real person.
Was a real person. He was a person. he would carry wads of cash in his pocket.
Really?
And if fans came up to him and remembered how to say his name in the right order, he gave them $20.
Oh, that's so cool.
It was awesome. He would give them $20 if you could remember Michael Clark Duncan. He was that kind of like, gentle soul. Because you're looking at him like, oh, big beast of a guy. It's like, oh man, he looks like he could just be an asshole. He just had that heart like Robin. It's like charity work, Comic Relief, which I grew up always watching. I was like, oh god, Comic Relief.
Those three always were the best, and they got to actually do the 58th annual Academy Awards together for the same reason. Great comedy team. Cheer Up the Soldiers.
Yeah, the USO shows. I think he did 13 tours. Wow. His last one was 2010. It's the last time he had gone out there. He didn't do it for the publicity. He didn't do it for the fame. It's like, so some things you heard, some things you didn't.
Yeah.
And that's what I liked about him.
But it's interesting how he took that whole time to make somebody else happy when we know for a fact that he wasn't happy on the inside. And that
and the
shows
sad
you.
thing is, and I've been hearing it a lot more from a lot of people, that it's very common. Depression is very common in people who are comedians.
That's how they deal with it, you think? Do you think
Yeah.
that they laugh on the outside or get everybody to laugh with them because he can't laugh on the inside?
Well, that's also one of the weirdest things where it's like, your husband's deathly afraid of clowns.
Right.
And there's other people who are afraid of clowns. And for me, I've never been afraid of clowns. I have always felt sorry for them. Because I'm like, here's a person who's acting for you to cheer you up. And whether they have spooky makeup on, happy makeup, everybody's like, oh my god, they're just still creepy. And of course, it came out and ruined it for everybody.
Absolutely.
And, not for me. It's like, I always saw a sad person under a clown.
Sure.
And for me, it's like, I love being funny. I love making my friends laugh. But there's times where it's like, I get that depressive spell sometimes where it's like, I'm not really happy right now, but I'm going to do anything I can to make someone else laugh.
I think that's why we bring this to you, too, is we aim to please other people, and no matter what's going on with us, we find joy in movies, and we bring them to you, and we want you to find that same joy. I think putting ourselves out there is a lot of that makeup, as it were.
I would have been sad whether Robin Williams died in a car crash or died of anything.
Loss is loss.
But it hits you a little bit harder to know that it was suicide
that he couldn't take being sad anymore.
Yeah. And I think that was what really hit me hard last night.
One of my other favorite movies with him was Awakenings, and that kind of on that somber note where he's with Robert De Niro, who it's a true story of the drug that pulled people out of this coma and became alive, and then when the drug stopped, L-Dopa, that's what it was, L-Dopa stopped working, they had to go back into that cocoon state. And Robert De Niro was great, but Robin Williams playing the Doctor was fabulous as well, and that was another one of his serious sides, and he grabbed my heart in that one, and that's why it's another one of my favorites, is him not being the comedy guy, but a serious actor. Yeah. Playing a serious role. But there's fun ones too. What was another one of your fun ones? That was a fun role.
My last top three that I love was Toys. Toys was just
crazy.
I'm Leslie Zebo.
I know.
As Robin Williams.
I'm in the mood for smoked chicken. How about you? We have a tradition of whimsy here at Zevo Toys.
I don't understand why Daddy let Uncle Leland take over Zevo Toys.
This one's just flat out funny.
Is it?
There's a kind of a dark sense of humor to the movie itself. It's basically almost a take before Small Soldiers. Where you have this military mind come into a toy store. Oh, and how can we turn toys into weapons? Kind of thing. Where you have Leslie, who is played by Robin Williams. Basically, he just doesn't take his work. He takes his work seriously when it comes to toys, but as far as for running the company that his dad has built, and then his dad passes away, his dad just can't leave the business with him, so he calls his brother, who's this military man, to come in to take over the factory. But it's really cool, too, because the uncle's son is LL Cool J. So
Interesting.
It's a funny movie.
But you mentioned Small Soldiers, which was Phil Hartman, who also he was murdered. That was even worse.
That was a murder-suicide.
We've lost too many of these great people.
Yeah.
But Robin is certainly known for his comedy. And my favorite film with Robin Williams has to be The Birdcage.
Something starts in your pelvis and works its way towards your heart, where it becomes heart/pelvis.
Pop.
Yes? Coming.
What about me? What do I do? Do I just stand here like an object?
No. You do an eclectic celebration of the dance. You do Fosse, Fosse, Fosse. You do Martha Graham, Martha Graham, Martha Graham. Or Twyla, Twyla, Twyla. Or Michael Kidd, Michael Kidd, Michael Kidd, Michael Kidd. Or Madonna, Madonna, Madonna. But you keep it all inside. All right, just work on that. I'll be right back.
That's my number 4. That would have been my next one outside of the top 3. Birdcage definitely was in the top 5.
Yeah.
Birdcage
was great. We just recently saw it as a group and shared it with somebody who had never seen it before, and it's totally worth watching. It's his comedic gold.
Yeah,
it really is. We certainly have a few to nod. Him as Genie in Aladdin, Hook, Peter Pan. He played Peter Pan.
You can fly, you can fight, and you can.
We can't not mention Death to Smoochie. That's another dark comedy, although I guess Toys was not, but that's a dark comedy. Death to Smoochie was.
Death to Smoochie.
Him in
Edward Norton.
Crazy role.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, I was like, I remember when it first came out, I was like, "Is this just like the dark side of Barney?"
Yes, it is. That would be an accurate.
It is the dark side of what Barney was.
Reading the social media, like I said, a lot of our friends wanted to watch something in remembrance of him. Some watched Aladdin. I watched the 1978, but one of my friends had to sit through Death to Smoochie. I was like, that's how we want to remember Robin, okay? Because he had the serious dark roles, 1 Hour Photo and Insomnia. I'm not sure. I've never been able to bring myself to watch him because I don't want to see Robin dark. Now I really don't know that I could watch Robin Dark now that he's gone. But 1 Hour Photo, you said
1 Hour Photo, 1 Hour Photo, but the whole thing is you've grown up with him. You've seen him in his comedy role, so you can't take him seriously.
But you're Mrs. Doubtfire. How could you be a murderer?
Both of them are worth watching. Both of them are worth watching once. Order it through your Netflix queue or something, and they're worth seeing.
And he's done lots of voices. He was in Fern Gully. I had forgotten about that one
I had
today.
Totally forgotten about Fern Gully.
Happy Feet. He's also a voice in Happy Feet.
The Hispanic gangster of love.
And he's not gone just yet. There are 3 or 4 movies coming up that are in post-production. There's one that I haven't actually seen a preview yet for, but there's a movie coming out called Merry Friggin' Christmas, and it's got some wonderful other people in it. Lauren Graham and Joel McHale, who I love, Clark Duke, who always makes you laugh, Oliver Pratt, and Candice Bergen. So, great cast, can't be a bad movie, and I'm glad he's going out on a high note. That's much better phrasing. Look at us, we're always talking about movies. So, that's why we wanted to use this medium to bring the tribute.
Yeah. So as much as I know a lot of people are hurting and they're sad and this is hitting them, it's like, I'm also sad and I'm also devastated, but at the same time, I'm kind of like, I'm happy that his suffering is over. Because obviously to do this, to go to that extreme, you're in a lot of pain.
His wife has been quoted that she wants us to remember not his death, but the countless moments of joy and laughter he gave to millions. And I think we absolutely will remember him that way.
I will always remember him, just as the person
who made us laugh.
One of the first persons when I was little that made me laugh. That, feel free to share your thoughts and everything. Let us know your favorite Robin Williams moments.
Yeah, give us your favorite movie.
The charities he's done, if you've ever met him, if you've ever come across him,
yeah, share your story.
Did he ever pull a prank on you like Bill Murray? Yesterday, and something that Robin Williams did, it's like, just off the whim, he never let anybody know, he would go into comedy clubs and just start talking. Like, it'd be an open mic night,
Wow.
and he'd just walk into a comedy club
That's awesome.
and get up on stage. Like, and
That's who he was.
that's who he was. I would actually literally have to say that man was Mr. Improv.
World's worst subject for an interpretive dance.
Impotence is a horrifying thing.
Oh, he was great.
So the Bay Area, the world, family, friends, and fans around the world. We lost an amazing man. We lost a great talent. We lost a family member.
We did.
Because nothing says the Bay Area like Robin Williams.
Good point. All right,
So we're signing off.
that's our opinion. Leave us your comments. We'd love to hear from you.
Jeannie, I'm gonna miss you.
Me too, Al. No matter what anybody says, you'll always be a prince to me.